Hello everyone. The paper my presentation is Bootstrap deep metric for seed expansion in attributed networks, and the proxy presenter Liang. And my presentation mainly includes 4 parts. The first part is introduction. So first, let's talk about the seed expansion task. This task input a network key that contains the target community seed, a small set of seed expansion S in C, and the budget K. The objective is to find K additional members of C. Seed expansion tasks benefit numerous applications, such as search engines on the World Wide Web, community detection in online social networks, recommendation systems, and knowledge graph entity set expansions. So existing methods for seed expansion mainly include algorithms based on random walks, conductance or modularity, label propagation, and neighbor counting. However, existing methods faces some problems. First, they primarily focus on plain networks and a fixed metric to attain ranking scores of nodes for expansion. They overlook the importance and rich attribute data, which can also be useful for expansion. For example, in social networks, node attributes may comprise personal information, interests, social relations. These attribute data can help to identify groups with similar interests. Therefore, it is necessary to consider both topological structure and node attributes in seed expansion for attributed networks. However, it is hard to define fixed but effective metrics on attributes and topology together due to their nonlinear relationship. The second part is methodology. Our main idea to solve the above-mentioned problems is to map the network's topological structure and node content into a representation space using a GNN, which we denoted F theta, such that community members are close to each other while non-members are distant. Subsequently, we select the nodes near the approximated community center as the expansion nodes. So to learn F theta from feed examples and unlabeled nodes, inspired by Bootstrap in representation learning, we propose BDM, Bootstrap Deep Metric, a deep graph machine learning framework based on bootstrapping that allows the learning not only on the seeds but also on each individual node. We refer to these 2 tasks as positive metric learning and self-metric learning, respectively. The object is capture positive semantic similarity as well as the semantic similarity and uniformity of each node itself into representations, thus attaining sufficient similarity information for expansion. BDM comprises a main GM encoder F theta, which is used for seed expansion, and an auxiliary GM encoder F phi, which is used for aiding in self-metric learning. And to learn from an attributed network XA, BDM firstly applies two augmentation functions T1 and T2 to attain 2 views. Subsequently, the 2 views are fed into the main encoder F theta and the auxiliary encoder F phi, which generate main representations and auxiliary representation respectively. The representations of seed nodes are further used to produce the shared anchor for seed nodes. Additionally, the parameter phi of auxiliary mapping F phi is updated as a slow-moving average of theta, and the SG means stop gradient. So machine learning losses comprise losses on positive nodes and each unlabeled node. positive matching learning loss is the cosine similarity loss between the produced positive anchor AP and representations of positive nodes as shown in two formulas above. And self-matched learning loss is also the cosine similarity loss between self-anchors and representations of each node. For the joint learning, instead of the sum of two losses, we propose an alternative approach that combines the two learning tasks by minimizing the maximum of two losses. So once we have attained the mapping f theta, defining a similarity metric for selecting top k expansion nodes becomes straightforward. Firstly, we utilize f theta to map the original graph into representations h theta for all nodes and approximate a community center AP. Then we calculate the cosine similarity between each node and the community center. Finally, we can select the top k nodes as expansion nodes. So the third part is evaluation. As shown in this table, we conduct the experiments on 8 real-life data sets. These data sets all comprises multiple communities. We treat one as the target community and the rest as negative. We randomly select 5 nodes from the target community as seeds and provide them to all algorithms for identifying additional members of the community. We compare our BDM with the 8 baselines and evaluate the performance of BDM in terms of recall and accuracy. And Table 2 lists the results of all algorithms in terms of accuracy where when k is in the specific setting. From this table, it can be seen that in most cases, our BDM significantly outperforms other methods. And the figure about the TSNE visualization of learned representations, blue and orange respectively denote members and non-members of target community. The top row is attained by GCNU, the middle is BDMP, and the bottom is BDM. So we can find that BDM successfully produces closely aligned representations for members. It pulls community members closer, occupying a smaller region, while non-members are uniformly distributed outside the region. And the evaluation study results of the effect of positive matched learning and self-matched learning are shown in this table. Just as observed in the visual analysis, both types of matching learning tasks make meaningful contributions to the overall expansion performance, and their combination results in a notable improvement. The last part is conclusion. And firstly, in this paper, we do the 4 themes. The first is we propose a deep graph machine learning framework, that is BDM, for seed expansion in attributed networks. Second is we use these previous representations to generate anchors and perform machine learning on both seeds and individual nodes. Third is eliminates the need for negative samples while producing closely aligned representations for members of the target community. And we experimentally validate our BDM on diverse real-life data sets. And that's all for my representation. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please contact the author Chunquan Liang. And that's all.